Well, why don't we talk a little bit more about each of them? So we have Artemis II commander, Reed Wiseman, Baltimore native, and he's actually, you see his feet in that shot there from inside Orion. He's been in space once before as flight engineer for Expedition 41 aboard the International Space Station from May through November 2014. During the 165-day mission, Reed and his crewmates completed more than 300 science experiments in areas like human physiology, medicine, physical science, earth science, as well as astrophysics. They actually set a milestone for station science by completing a record 82 research hours in a single week. He also served as chief of NASA's astronaut office from December 2020 to December 2022. His two daughters were out to wave goodbye to him as he made his way to the launch pad. And again, there's Reed's feet. Reed is the one sitting in the seat to the right, closest to our camera there. So looks like he's relaxed by the body language of his feet.
Yeah, I think they're kind of in a holding pattern, if you will, or a waiting period. So it makes sense that he's a little bit relaxed. He's also kind of just a relaxed person in general. He's wicked smart, but has a demeanor that keeps everybody calm. And so I think we're seeing that here today.
And so in this shot, Reed is the one sitting on the left, and to his right, Artemis II pilot Victor Glover. NASA selected the California native as an astronaut in 2013, and at the time he was actually serving as a legislative fellow in the United States Senate. His first trip to space, November 2020, pilot of NASA's SpaceX Crew 1 mission. That was the first operational mission of NASA's Commercial Crew program, which resumed launching American rockets from American soil to the International Space Station since the end of the shuttle program. Victor is a U.S. Navy captain and naval aviator who served as a test pilot, racking up more than 3,500 flight hours in more than 40 different aircraft. So again, he probably feels pretty at home in the pilot seat of Artemis II.
Yeah, I think he does.
He got to say goodbye to his wife and 4 kids. Again, those were the family that he had here at Kennedy Space Center before the 4 of them drove out to the pad.
Yeah, and you can see there, we talked about Victor's energy earlier, and you can see him working through, pushing some buttons on the displays. Looked like he was pulling up a procedure, so he's following along and ready to go, looks like.
And then mission specialist Christina Cook, sitting on the upper left-hand corner of the screen there, native of Grand Rapids, Michigan, was selected to the Astronaut Corps in 2013, same class as Victor, served as flight engineer on the International Space Station from March 2019 to February 2020. During that time, she set a record for the longest single spaceflight by a woman with a total of 328 consecutive days in space. How cool. She also participated in the first ever all-female spacewalk. And before becoming an astronaut, Christina helped build space science instruments and led scientific fieldwork in some of the most remote environments on the planet. Her hobbies include surfing, rock climbing,
and
community
CDR,
service, yoga, and photography.
Go ahead, NCD. There's a couple of suppressed overvolt messages. We're going to go ahead and clear those off your screen.
We see them and we copy.
All right.
NASA test director.
We're still working here, trying to get through everything. So we're getting close, and then trying to talk that other issue that we just picked up a little bit ago. But I think work-wise, we're doing really well.
Sounds good, NTD. We're doing great on board.
Glad to hear it.
NASA test director giving an update to the crew. Some messages flashed on their displays. Just wanted to say that they didn't have to worry about that. We're going to clear that. And then also just reassuring the crew, again, that they are tracking and working the issue with the launch abort system battery.
Yeah.
All right. And then first-time flyer, Canadian Space Agency astronaut Jeremy Hansen will fly to the moon as mission specialist on the Artemis II mission. The London, Ontario native, selected as an astronaut in 2009. After that, he worked as Capcom at NASA's Mission Control Center in Houston. Capcom stands for Capsule Communicator and is the sole direct voice communicating with astronauts while in space. Jeremy also participated in training exercises, really cool ones like living on the ocean floor off the coast of Florida to simulate deep space exploration for a week. In 2017, he became the first Canadian to lead a NASA astronaut class. He also enjoys getting out on a sailboat, rock climbing, and mountain biking. He has a wife and 3 children. And he's the one that you see bottom left-hand corner of your screen. I know, I'm trying to see what he's doing there. Christina's looking too. And so there is your Artemis II crew inside the Orion spacecraft. And this is actually the 7th time NASA astronauts will launch on a new NASA spacecraft designed for crew. And if you're wondering about the first 6 crewed test flights, here they are. Gemini 3, Gus Grissom, John Young, March 23, 1965. Apollo 7, Wally Schirra, Don Isley, Walt Cunningham, October 11, 1968. Space Transportation System, or STS-1, John Young, Robert Crippen, April 12, 1981. Then NASA's SpaceX Demo 2, Doug Hurley, Bob Behnken, May 30th, 2020, followed by NASA's Boeing crew flight tests. Butch Wilmore, Sonny Williams, June 5th, 2024. And now, Artemis II with Reed, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy. It is really surprising, honestly, to hear that through all these decades, through all these launches we've had, this is only our 7th new vehicle that we're testing for crew.
Yeah, you know, we have so many different missions that we think about and we talk about, but really 7 vehicles that we've tested and that we're flying. You know, I like to think of spaceflight really as a permanent test, right? We have, you know, hundreds of missions or so. You know, an airplane that gets tested and then flown has thousands of data points. And so really spaceflight is always going to be in the test field. And I think it's important to remember that, especially as we put humans on rockets that we never have before, or for the 7th time we start a new vehicle and a new mission.
Just getting word now that White Room closeouts are complete. And so the closeout crew is preparing to leave the pad.
It's exciting stuff. We are making good time, and the closeout crew is doing really well.
41 minutes, 43 seconds and counting until the opening of our window. And Artemis II is a 10-day mission that will send the 4-person crew on a journey around the moon and back to Earth. It will be a critical step towards future lunar and Mars missions.
We're going back to the moon because it's the next step in our journey to Mars. We need to go explore the moon. There's vast regions of unexplored areas with the coldest, darkest places in our solar system. This is a test mission, and when we get off the planet, we might come right back home. We might spend 3 or 4 days around Earth. We might go to the moon. That's where we want to go, but it is a test mission, and we are ready for every scenario as we ride this amazing space launch system in the Orion spacecraft.
But another reason we're going back to the moon is to fulfill NASA's mission, which is to explore the unknown in air and space, to innovate for the benefit of humanity, and to inspire the world through discovery. And when we succeed and when we accomplish the things that we set out to accomplish, that inspiration not only can set up new things to happen, but it also is a reminder in tough times that we're capable of doing great things when we work together.
The thing I love about the moon is that it's not just a beacon for exploration and this platform of possibilities for incredible missions like this, but it has benefits. That's actually why we're racing towards it. Those benefits are really wide in nature. You have everything from innovation, technology development, not only for future missions going deeper into the solar system, but technologies that come back to Earth. You have inspiration, a whole generation of people starting this pipeline of STEM workers and manufacturers and operators that are excited to see what you can do when you work hard and you come together as a team.
When I think about the four of us flying around the far side of the moon, seeing that Earth rise, taking images and video and sending them back to you, the feeling that I have inside is hope. We know that Artemis II is not the solution for humanity on planet Earth, but it is a contribution in the positive column. We hope that just for a moment that people will pause and say, wow, it's extraordinary when you look back upon the Earth with over 8 billion people, and you see this concrete example of what humanity can do, this extraordinary thing when we set big goals.
And CDR, NTD.
To achieve them.
And so Mission Control Houston will control the flight of Orion after a liftoff here at Kennedy Space Center. Here's Gary Jordan, who's embedded with that team. Gary, you might have to pause because we did just hear a call out to the commander in Orion.
Will do, Megan. I think that was Commander Reed Wiseman responding to prepare for some of the next steps. We are now holding at the T-minus 10-minute hold. Expected a 30-minute hold. So we are well on the countdown. We are well on the timeline to meet this L-minus time and launch towards the beginning of the window, but continuing to track progress along the way. Again, I'm here with the Artemis II flight control teams in Mission Control Houston. The team in the room behind me has been monitoring the countdown and verifying their own mission-specific launch criteria of the Space Launch System, the Orion spacecraft integrity, and its crew. During the final poll before launch, if all looks good from each of the flight controllers in this room, Flight Director Judd Freeling will report a go for launch from Houston Flight. Upon liftoff, teams here take control of the mission and communicate with the crew while they fly on the Space Launch System. This phase of flight is highly dynamic, and each console position has a dedicated and important role of looking after critical systems. You'll hear calls from Capcom and NASA astronaut Stan Love in this room to the Artemis II crew as milestones are reached during the more than 8 minutes of powered flight on the core stage. Liftoff and ascent are just the beginning. This room will be staffed around the clock over the next 10 days to oversee every moment of the mission through splashdown. Here from the Johnson Space Center, we'll be streaming the mission live 24/7 so anyone can follow the crew's journey, take peeks inside the spacecraft, and share the experience of a lunar flyby with astronauts looking down at the moon's surface. Teams here have been rehearsing tirelessly in simulations to throw every conceivable and inconceivable scenario their way. We are ready and eager to begin the Artemis II mission. Still milestones to come as we continue the countdown, but we'll be right back with you during the ascent phase of today's flight. With that, Megan, I will send it back over to you at the Space Coast.
Thanks so much, Gary. Under 37 minutes until the opening of our 2-hour launch window, 6:24 p.m. Eastern. I've never been more excited for a time. But why don't we send it back over to Megan Carter with the moon board to learn more about what happens after ascent.
Absolutely. I am definitely also getting excited. Things feel like they're starting to pick up a little pace here. A lot is about to happen within the first 10 minutes of launch, but what happens after those first 10 minutes? Let me take you over here to my mission map so we can kind of jump ahead and let me explain a few things. So, our main engine cutoff is going to stand for MECO, and that is essentially where the rocket's job is done, and it is then going to turn the propulsion duties over to our ICPS. That stands for Interim Cryogenic Propulsion Stage. Don't try and say that too many times fast, but the ICPS is going to be right here, and that's our in-space propulsion. About 50 minutes into, after about 50 minutes into launch, it is going to conduct that first burn, and that's going to be the perigee raise maneuver. Essentially, basically what that is going to do is going to raise the spacecraft from a lowest point of Earth just a little bit higher into space. And then they are going to conduct that nice path. That's going to set them on that nice circular path around the Earth. That's when they're going to start to be able to really check out the spacecraft. The Orion spacecraft is going to be able to, like we've talked about, be maneuvered by the crew. They're going to check out those life support systems, and communication checkout's going to be vital at that point as well, obviously. Then they will be conducting that another burn, and that's going to raise them just a little bit higher again. And then they will, it'll be about time for the ICPS to separate, and they will start another lap around the Earth as well. Now, the ICPS, but even after it separates, its job will not be done because they will have the opportunity to conduct something called the Proximity Operations Demonstration. And this is going to be really important for our future lunar missions because the ICPS actually has a target on it, and the crew is going to have the opportunity to manually maneuver these spacecraft like we've mentioned and practice those docking maneuvers. Now, obviously, they will not be docking for this mission, but that is, again, going to be critical for those lunar missions in the future. Now, all right, after that ICPS has separated and they've done that second lap, they're going to conduct 2 more burns. And what these burns are going to do is set them up to the high enough orbit and a fast enough speed in order to conduct the translunar injection. This is going to be that critical moment and that critical milestone where they are going to produce about 6,000 pounds of thrust. And this is that point that is going to take them out of low Earth orbit into deep space, and it's going to set them on that nice path towards that lunar flyby. And I know we have talked a little bit about why this could be a record-breaking flyby and journey to the moon. And with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Megan so she can tell us just why.
Yeah, she's talking about the distance record set by the Apollo 13 astronauts in 1970. They were 248,655 miles away from Earth, and this Artemis II crew might surpass that on flight day 6 when they fly around the moon by more than 4,000 miles.
Yeah, it's a long ways. It's tough to fathom 250,000 miles from Earth, right? I mean, space, the space station is only 250 miles, and so we're going, I don't want to do the public math, but we're going much further than that. But it's important, right? Because we want to get back to the moon. We want to see the surface. We want to see the far side of the moon. And the way we do that is by breaking distance records.
Yeah, and the exact distance record depends on exactly when they launched, like the time, the day. So we'll learn more as we go into this 10-day mission with the Artemis II crew. But here we are, 32 minutes, 50 seconds and counting from the opening of our launch window. Feels really, really surreal here as more and more people come to gather on the press site lawn here at Kennedy Space Center. Why don't we take a look at this video that we have here? Some familiar faces who wanted to wish our Artemis II crew a safe journey.
Reed, Victor, Christina, and Jeremy, you are the real deal. You're flying to the moon for all of us, and we are in awe. You're the true heroes.
You are not just astronauts. You are pioneers, venturing deeper into the unknown. But you are not alone. We will be all cheering you on from planet Earth.
Hey, I'm Victor Wembanyama, and I play basketball in the NBA. But I'm not only interested in shooting hoops. I'm also interested in shooting stars, dark matter, and all other types of astronomical phenomenon. And to the Artemis II astronauts who are shooting for the moon, I wish them good luck and Godspeed.
Hi everybody, I'm Ryan Gosling, and I play a biologist who goes to space to save the planet in the film Project Hail Mary. But the Artemis II astronauts are going to space for real, and they will travel farther from Earth than any humans in history. Sending all our best wishes to the Artemis II crew.
I just want to say how proud I am of each of you and how inspired you make me. But it's not just about me. Your mission is going to inspire future generations of scientists, engineers, athletes, and dreamers to do something that they never thought possible.
Hey, it's Roy Wood Jr., and I want to wish the Artemis II crew a happy and safe journey to the moon, well, around the moon. To go around, I know what you're doing. You got to look for a parking space. This is to go around the moon, make sure it's somewhere to park, and then you park journey. Good luck.
It's actually a really good way to explain what how this mission builds. Again, we are hoping to land astronauts on the surface of the moon in maybe 2 years. So yes, we are looking around the moon on this lunar flyby mission to see where we might park. Thank you, Roy Wood Jr. Okay, and as we look at this live view of the rocket on the pad, there is a spectacular place here at Kennedy Space Center to watch launch from, and that's the Banana Creek viewing area. Why don't we go back there where the crowd is excited, and Leah has the best assignment ever talking to people who are super excited about being here for Artemis II.
Oh my gosh, Megan, you talk about the excitement being palpable. I'm telling you, everybody here on pins and needles as we get just about half an hour away from launch. I've been walking around talking to people, and I'm just struck again and again by how many people are here from across the agency. I want to introduce you to just a small portion of the people across NASA who have been supporting this mission.
Patty Ortiz, NASA Armstrong Flight Research Center, Orion Program.
Orion.
Kathy Graves, Glenn Research Center, Office of STEM Engagement.
David Alexander, NASA Glenn Research Center, Office of STEM Engagement.
Jennifer Becerra, Johnson Space Center, the Office of STEM Engagement.
Here we go. Right back here. Where are you from?
I'm from NASA Glenn Research Center, Joseph Pinakitis.
Joseph, here we go.
Wes Furman from APL.
Maria Arredondo from Headquarters, Next Gen STEM.
Mark Robinson, Stennis Space Center, Commercial Space.
Amira Flores, Armstrong, Office of the STEM Engagement.
Molly Kearns, NASA Glenn, Space Communications and Navigation.
Matthew Pierce, Goddard Institute for Space Studies in New York City.
Here we go, and right over here.
Lauren Ring, Ames Research Center, Data Integration.
So we're coming together. We're one big NASA team, one big NASA family, and we have one major message before we launch tonight. Okay, guys, what are we going to say? 1, 2, 3. Go!
Oh my gosh, that made me so emotional. That was so inspiring to see. I mean, wow, yeah, that was great. I mean, just to hear everybody say their position, what they're doing to support this mission is amazing. And I'm sure this was something that really rang true and resonated with NASA's Administrator Jared Isaacman, again, to see the workforce come together to do the work and then to be here for launch. So why don't we actually go over to him now with our Jasmine Hopkins at one of our other viewing locations.
All right, Megan, thank you so much. The energy here on the balcony is honestly becoming electric as we get so close to launch. And now we are thrilled to welcome NASA Administrator Jared Isaacman. Jared, we're really entering a golden age of exploration. How will Artemis II set the pace for the coming years?
Well, I mean, Artemis II is the opening act, right? This is the test mission. This is getting very comfortable with the SLS rocket, the Orion spacecraft. No humans have ever flown on this before, right? And we're going to put it through its paces. We'll go into Earth orbit for a little bit, make sure Orion's doing okay, and then we are sending them, right? We're going to send them farther into space than any humans might have gone before, 250,000 miles away, and it's going to set up for the subsequent missions. That's why we're going into the golden age of science and discovery right now, because you're going to see moon rocket launch in 2027 when we do our testing with the lander. We're going to go for the landing on Artemis IV in 2028, and in parallel, we're going to build the moon base, right? And that is going to be filled with science discovery and tech demonstrations that's going to support the enduring presence we're trying to create on the surface.
Absolutely. So honestly, history-making years ahead of us, you know, with Artemis 3 and 4. But first is Artemis 2. What will be our single greatest takeaway from this mission?
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, after ignition, to me, the moment that I'm going to be most excited for is splashdown. There's no question about that. Good shoots coming down off the West Coast. But look, I think the takeaway from this is gaining extreme comfort in the Orion spacecraft, right? I mean, this is very different than what we've done for more than a half century, right? I mean, the velocities that spacecraft is going to re-enter at, it's going to be new territory for us. We want to get our arms around that completely. So I would say the performance of SLS plus Orion is everything on this one. We want to make sure we do it in as a safe way as we possibly can, understanding what we are undertaking right here, bring our crew back, learn as much as we can from the vehicle, set up for Artemis 3 in 2027.
Right. And Administrator, we've actually had a pretty young audience today here, some kids running around the balcony. How do you hope Artemis 2 inspires that next generation?
You know, I talk about this all the time. Like, you know, one of our overarching KPIs that we should always be tracking is the number number of people living and working in space. Well, you know what's another strong number 2 on that one? It's the number of kids that are dressing up as astronauts for Halloween so that they grow up, that they're inspired to want to join in this grand endeavor, whether they come work with us here at NASA or they join in industry, but they're helping humankind venture out farther, pursue all the secrets of the universe.
Yeah, I think we'll see a lot of kids dressed as astronauts this year. And finally, Jared, you've really made it a personal mission to get to know the people behind the work at NASA. Do you have any final thoughts, any final words before today's history-making launch?
Yeah, well, one, I want to express a lot of appreciation. I'll tell you what, the 4 astronauts on top of Artemis II know this. It takes an army to pull a mission together like this, right? Across all 10 of our centers, all of our commercial partners, the international partners that come together to make this possible. My sincere appreciation for everyone who is currently working the mission right now, so getting them ready for launch, that will be watching over them in mission control, recovering this crew when they splash down off the West Coast. I have complete trust and confidence in your abilities, and everybody else who's not directly working on Artemis II. Artemis 3 is coming up next year. When this mobile launcher gets back in the VAB, we're going to start stacking.
Wow, plenty of excitement ahead of us. Jared Isaacman, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for being here.
Of course. All right. And with that, let's get back to the countdown with NASA's Megan Cruz.
Under 25 minutes and counting from the opening of our 2-hour launch window, and take a look at all these people behind us. I literally, every moment I turn around and I see the clock, I am like, oh, wow. Oh, wow.
There are more people and less time.
Yes, exactly, which is a great problem to have. Yes. Now, this first crewed test flight of NASA's Artemis program coincides with the 250th anniversary of our country's founders signing the Declaration of Independence. Exploration is a part of America's DNA, and it continues now with our return to the moon.
250 years ago, 13 colonies laid the foundation for the greatest and most enduring democracy in the history of the world. One driven by courage, faith, and freedom. From that moment, we became a nation defined not by where we stood, but by how far we were willing to go. We conquered vast frontiers, invented tools that shaped a modern world. We found light in the dark, and we rose from the earth. Faster, higher, farther. We pushed beyond the sky and into the unknown. We carried our courage into the cosmos, and we planted the American flag on the moon, the defining achievement of American superiority in space. Today, our curiosity stretches farther than ever. American robots search ancient rivers on Mars. New telescopes unfold to glimpse the first stars. And a new generation prepares to return to the moon, this time to stay. For 250 years, America has carried the light of humanity forward. But American exceptionalism isn't inherited, it's earned. Our greatness comes not only from what we've done, but what we're still determined to discover. Because in every era, across every horizon, America is at its best when it's reaching for something greater. America celebrates 250 years, and we are leading the world into the future.
22 minutes, 15 seconds and counting from Artemis II, NASA's boldest test flight in a generation. The crew has said this often, that they hope it inspires children around the world. And recently, a group of kids here at Kennedy Space Center got a surprise of a lifetime while watching that rocket roll to the launch pad.
So tell me what color it is.
I could make it a little bit longer.
Did you see it? Okay, so everybody's looking at the rocket because it is kind of cool and impressive. One of the coolest things happening over there right now, though, is it's on top of a giant tractor.
Doesn't all food come in like tubes? It's in these like little plastic bags, and you have to like rehydrate it. Sushi. There's not. I haven't seen sushi in space. It's probably hard to keep that back. Sushi.
My favorite part was this one little girl, she had a question. She had patiently held her hand for a long time, and Christina turns to her and says, okay, what's your question? She just goes, I forgot. It was like, that's a perfect little kid moment. I just love it.
Wait, are you my mother's cats too, astronauts?
What? Say that again?
Never mind. It's a little hard to say. Go Artemis!
These two, yeah. Put it on.
Look at this one.
Yeah.
There you go. I like your dabbing astronaut back there. It's just so fun to see the enthusiasm, the energy, and a little bit of chaos.
3, 2, 1.
Wasn't that so cute?
I love kids and their excitement and, you know, even just being real. Like, I don't remember what I was
I know,
gonna
he
ask.
goes, but I'm glad you're here. Now here we are, Space Center Houston. The crowd has exponentially grown throughout the day. We started showing you live shots from in there probably an hour ago, and now take a look at all the people there getting ready to witness history together. It's something really special to be able to witness something like this together.
Yeah, you know, we've heard from celebrities and officials and kids, and, you know, it's amazing. People from all around the world came here today to Florida to watch, so it's something, it's hard to put into words, just how much support for this mission we're seeing today.
And great news too, remember the team was tracking an issue with the launch abort system battery. They appear to have cleared that issue, so we are go for launch.
Yes, it's exciting.
U.S. Space and Rocket Center here, Huntsville, Alabama, waving to the Artemis II crew sitting right there inside Orion. Inside of 20 minutes from the opening of our launch window, and right now we are targeting the top of that launch window, so we could be launching here in about 19 minutes, Nicole.
Wow, I don't know if I expected this today. I'm excited, and, you know, I'm glad they were able to clear the problem with the battery on the LAS, and everything has gone really smoothly today. It's been great. The weather cleared up. It's a beautiful day for a launch.
And so now, as we are so close to possibly launch now, just what are your final thoughts as we are about to embark on a mission back to the moon, the first time in more than 50 years?
Yeah, you know, just so proud of the crew and all of the teams here on the ground that made this happen. You know, they are carrying the torch from the Apollo era into the Artemis era. And, you know, as the crew likes to say, they want to be the shoulders that the next generation.
And let's see, GLS, can you help us with that, please?
They want to be the crew wants to be the shoulders that the next generation can climb on.
001.
You know, I think it's in their patch. We're going for all. It's in the name of their capsule, integrity, representing humility and the professionalism of everyone that got them there today. So proud of them. We love them. We're excited for them, and we cannot wait to see what they see.
Just leveraging everything we've learned so far as an agency, taking us from Apollo now to the launch pad here, 39B, with Orion and SLS poised to again fly us into the history books. And before we leave you now here at the host desk to get back into operations, we just wanted to answer one question for you guys. We asked you earlier on today, what are you most excited for? And we asked you to go vote on Instagram and Twitch. Instagram, you guys said launch. Twitch, you guys said lunar flyby. So I think you guys will all be very excited since we are now about 17 minutes from the opening of our launch window today. And so with that, as we approach terminal count, let's send it back to Daryl Nail in firing room 1. Daryl.
All right, thank you, Megan and Nicole. And just want to give you an update on the launch abort system that you just reported that they cleared. They believe, they're convinced, this is an instrumentation failure. So there are 2 batteries on the LAS. The LAS, of course, and with the help of my 2-year-old son's model rocket, Daniel said I could use this, so it's okay. The LAS is right here. It's the tower above Orion. Orion capsule's inside of here. It's used to pull Orion off the rocket in case the rocket is something's going on with the rocket, either on the pad or in flight. 2 batteries are bad. Well, I'm sorry, one of the 2 batteries reported an out-of-family temperature, and it was very much out of family. And so they checked their data going back into the vehicle assembly building where they recharged the batteries and worked on them. And they have good, solid data, they reported, that tells them that this is an instrumentation failure, that there's something wrong with the sensor. And so they took it before the mission management team, which has to accept the risk, any changes to launch commit criteria, which this would be one, and they all fully accepted it. So now we are clear as far as that constraint is concerned. And one quick thing as we count down now, we are getting into the final minutes before liftoff. There's a 2-hour window. We haven't quite set the T0 yet, but this is a list of the cutouts. There are 150 cutouts that are included for this 2-hour launch window. And that's important. They're in very small print. That's important because there's basically 16 minutes inside this window that they cannot launch. And these are because of small things flying in orbit. There's a lot more things in orbit than there were back in Artemis I when we had 35 to 40 cutouts. For that reason, because of these 156 cutouts, they're going to be managing the launch window as we go forward. So they may have to wait out one of these cutouts. They range in time between 2 seconds to 23 seconds, but you'll hear the NASA test director talk through that. We're getting ready to merge that loop from NASA test director Jeff Spaulding. And so now I'm listening to the launch team get ready to merge their operational channel. We're now entering one of the most consequential phases of launch day, and that's terminal count, the final 10 minutes.
And OTC, NTD on 212 for comm check.
Good comm. How me?
I hear the same. STC?
2.
GTC?
GTC's on 212.
All right, copy that.
NASA Test Director Jeff Spaulding confirming communications with his team. There will be 2 polls that we'll hear. One from Spaulding, the NASA test director, confirming the ground systems and the launch team are ready to proceed. At this point, we have a clear board, no constraints, but we need confirmation from each individual on the NASA test director team. So we'll hear him poll his team. The other poll that we're waiting for is the poll from Launch Director Charlie Blackwell Thompson, who will take that final status from NASA management before giving the go to come out of a hold. Now you're seeing the clock count down at L-12 minutes.
CCL, OTC, Orion, RS1.
CCL.
Yes, sir. Reconfigure ARS primary loop ISO valves.
Copy, that's in work.
And CDR, OTC, Orion, RS1.
Go.
ARS loop ISO valves are being closed at this time.
Integrity copies.
NGDLP.
Go.
Yes, I had a discussion with Sea Ice and with MER Manager regarding the observation the Sea Ice had a few minutes ago. They were able to confirm with BCI photos that the condition that they observed has been there since 2025. MER Manager has had a chance to review the findings, and they do not have any constraints from either a Sea Ice or MER Manager perspective.
Okay. Copy all. And Launch Director NTD, you copy?
Yes, sir. I copy. That's good news.
OTC CCL 212.
OTC.
ARS primary loop isolation valve configuration is complete.
Copy.
And CGLS NTD, cancel pending, please.
CLS copies, and that's complete.
All right, and for all personnel, we got a little bit more work to do before we pick up the clock, and we're about a little over a minute from getting to T-minus 10 minutes. But we've canceled the resume time there, and then we'll pick it up after we get through all of our work and anything else that we need to do to get through the remainder of counts. So we'll continue working that to get to our T0 today. So when we get to about 50 seconds from now, we'll extend that hold.
CVSE OTC. CVSE 400-290, looking to verify that we are configured for ascent. Yep, give me about 2 more minutes. I'm going to start CMA2 streaming. Copy.
NTD COSE hold requested.
Copy that.
I have an LCC violation of O-CT-004, S-band transponder anomaly. This was a transient LCC violation, so transponder 1 had a demodulated SNR estimate that went down to 2 dBm when it should have been between 10 and 13. It is now back up to 12, but we did lose that for just a moment. It does not appear that we lost our bit sync or carrier lock, which would be indicative that we lost our lock with the vehicle. So at this point, recommendation would still be go. However, we do have a pre-planned contingency procedure if we want to look at that. But again, this is transient, so we're back in a nominal range.
All right, let's see, LPE NTD.
Yeah, we're not seeing that hit, so I guess the question for COSE, was that less than 3 samples? Is that below our persistence?
Stand by, let me look. It did look like it did persist for several seconds on mine, but let me take a look at the number of samples.
Could I get a repeat on the...
4.
lá, menos de 4 minutos agora, hein? Menos de 4 minutos. Né? Lembrando que essa missão ela já foi adiada mais de 6 vezes, nem todas as vezes chegou a entrar os astronautas na nave, porque teve cancelamentos por outros motivos. Mas dessa vez parece que não teremos adiamento, hein? Pode ser que adie por mais 10 minutos, tá? Porque a gente tem 2 horas de janela, né? Após as 19h24, a gente tem 2 horas de janela. Mas assim, já removeram ali algumas plataformas e tem tudo para não ter adiamento dessa vez, hein? Vamos aguardar. Lembrando que agora há pouco eles fizeram um checklist de segurança, né? De todos os itens da nave. Também a checklist dos itens operacionais. Só depois da checagem de todos esses itens é que abre a contagem regressiva dos 10 minutos. Então, é outro item que mostra que provavelmente não teremos mais um adiamento. E lembrando que é uma missão histórica, hein? Mais de 40 anos depois da missão Apollo, que foi onde o homem pisou a primeira vez na Lua, né? Tá tendo uma segunda missão agora, uma próxima missão, vamos dizer assim. Mas 40 anos depois, olha a complexidade que é uma missão, né, de enviar tripulantes à Lua, né? Tivemos missões não tripuladas, né? Mas missão tripulada até a Lua completou já mais de 40 anos. Ó, eles estão checando ali, ó, os propulsores, né? Que é os últimos testes operacionais. Vamos aguardar. Um minuto e 50, hein? Menos de 1 minuto e 50. Vamos lá. Vamos ver se agora finalmente a gente vai ter realmente o lançamento dessa missão. Ó, novos testes ali dos propulsores. São testes computadorizados, né? Autotestes. E aí se eles falham, aí a contagem ela é abortada. Vamos lá, por 59 segundos, hein? Vamos iniciar, menos de 1 minuto, já já. Vamos lá, vamos acompanhar. Um minuto. Chegamos no último minuto, hein? Poucos segundos para iniciar a missão. Agora vai, hein, João? João aí, 10 anos de idade, tendo a oportunidade de ver uma missão para a Lua. Olha só que privilégio, hein, João? Aí agora eles trazem a missão, a visão do foguete, né, dos propulsores do foguete. Opa, vamos lá. Últimos 10 segundos. Motores ligados. Vamos acompanhar. Ignição. E lá vai ele, hein? Já a NASA consegue trazer dados aí na tela. Vamos acompanhar. De velocidade, de altitude. E lá foi, hein? Não foi adiado dessa vez, hein? Vamos lá. Ali, ó, ele traz ali, ó, tá vendo? As informações, né, de velocidade, de altitude. Nesse momento ele tá, né, queimando muito combustível para poder vencer a lei da gravidade, tá? E aí quando chegar ali mais ou menos na estratosfera, que a velocidade ela é amplificada, né? Então, nesse momento a gente está vencendo a gravidade, ó. Ó que legal, João. Finalmente essa missão foi lançada, hein? Não foi adiada dessa vez. Tivemos sorte de acompanhar, hein? Olha o poder desses propulsores. E aí vocês podem perceber que ele vai fazendo um ângulo, né? Esse ângulo é para quando sair da atmosfera, né? Ele já está num ângulo para fazer a volta em volta da Terra, né? Então é tudo muito bem calculado, né? Na velocidade certa para não sair ali da órbita da Terra. Então imagina os cálculos, os engenheiros envolvidos nisso tudo, né? É um negócio assim. Olha lá, 2 minutos mais ou menos para a separação. Vamos ver em quantos estágios vamos ter a separação, né? Geralmente é dos propulsores primeiro, para depois começar as separações da cápsula, né? Ó, nesse momento ela já está numa velocidade, né, que eles consideram já venceu a maior parte da lei da gravidade, né? Do empuxo. Então agora começa a entrar, né, numa vertente ali de geralmente entrar no ângulo mesmo para poder fazer a volta, né, na Terra. A gente chega nessa altitude, você pode ver que já a queima, né, de combustível ela já diminui, porque o oxigênio já é bem menor, né, a quantidade, e a nave já entra numa velocidade ali programada, né, para poder sair realmente entrar em órbita da Terra, né? Sair da estratosfera ali e entrar em órbita. Ó, agora a gente já começa a ter a visão, né, da órbita da Terra. Ó, já teve uma primeira, já soltou uma parte ali dos propulsores, né? Ó, começa a ter, né, a soltar as peças. Ó. Vamos aguardar pela separação dos estágios agora. Lembrando que na sequência a gente vai transmitir a lua cheia, tá? Então a câmera aérea ali do observatório, essa câmera que está abaixo de mim aqui, mostra que já estamos tendo uma limpeza do céu das nuvens, né? Então acredito que vai dar para transmitir a lua cheia, tá? Na sequência a gente já emenda com a lua cheia. Finalmente foi lançada essa nave, hein? Depois de mais de 6 adiamentos, finalmente foi lançada. João, a lua ainda está atrás das nuvens aqui, mas parece que o céu está começando a limpar, tá? Então, até há pouco tempo atrás, meia hora atrás, estava muito carregado de nuvens, tá? Mas aparentemente agora está limpando. Então vamos torcer para a gente conseguir abrir algumas janelas para a gente ver a lua cheia de hoje. A lua cheia de hoje também promete, né? Um evento aí onde ela vai ser meio que uma super lua branca, né? Então vai valer muito a pena a gente transmitir aqui a lua pelo telescópio, com certeza. Ó, a visão da câmera já entrou em órbita da Terra, né? Lembrando que eles fizeram esse cálculo para ela sair numa velocidade correta, num ângulo correto para fazer a órbita na Terra. Ela vai dar a volta na Terra para depois sair numa linha reta para a Lua, né? Então imagina o cálculo para fazer isso. É igual os satélites, né? Os satélites, quando eles são lançados numa velocidade X para, como lá no espaço não tem oxigênio, não tem o ar ali para dar né, para frear, por exemplo, para criar resistência ali na velocidade dos satélites. Então eles são lançados num ângulo X, numa velocidade Y, que esse ângulo e essa velocidade permitem que ele fique eternamente ali em órbita na Terra, né? Então ele está numa velocidade que ele não sai da órbita e também não entra, né, novamente para a Terra. Então é interessantíssimo entender isso, né? Tudo são cálculos, né? Então, e os cálculos precisam ser exatos, né? Para que, por exemplo, os satélites continuem em órbita. Então isso é interessante.
Pode entrar? Pode.
Engraçado que eles não mostraram as imagens da cápsula com os astronautas, né, até agora. Isso eu achei estranho. Mas finalmente, hein, a nave foi lançada. Finalmente. Ó, ele vai fazer a separação do sistema de propulsão, né? Opa, olha lá, separou. Tivemos então o primeiro estágio aí de separação. Ó. Quando chega no ângulo correto, na velocidade correta, começa a ter a separação. Lembrando que a nave ela vai fazer uma volta, né? Vai dar a volta na Terra, então precisou entrar na órbita da Terra, no ângulo certo, na velocidade certa, para depois poder sair na reta da Lua, né? Ó, 9 minutos de missão, né? Já completou 9 minutos de missão, 9 minutos desde o lançamento da nave. E é legal que essa missão, ela está servindo de base, né, para a próxima missão, que seria do homem pisar na Lua mesmo. Então, por exemplo, nesse momento a nave está iniciando a órbita na Terra, ela vai dar 2 voltas na Terra, né, para depois, e nesse momento das 2 voltas na Terra, ele está usando para checar vários sistemas, né, e aí poder, de fato, ficar no ângulo de saída da órbita em direção à Lua. Ela vai dar a volta na Terra, depois vai dar a volta na Lua para voltar. Então ela faz um 8 no espaço, né? Interessante. E a Artemis II, ela é a preparação da missão Artemis III, que a Artemis III sim, tá? Aí o homem pretende pisar na Lua, né? Novamente. A Artemis II é uma missão de preparação para a Artemis III, que será quando o homem pisará na Lua, novamente. Completar 12 minutos agora, ó, de lançamento da nave, né? E eu tô falando, explicando.
Das nuvens eu vejo um foguinho indo para o espaço. Eu posso falar alguma coisa? Eu sei como ser grosseira.
This is Mission Control Houston, passing 23 minutes of mission elapsed time into the Artemis II mission. This is after a launch that began at 5:35 and 12 seconds Central Time, 6:35 and 12 seconds p.m. Eastern Time. Right now, the orientation you're seeing from our arrow visualization that translates some of the telemetry that we're getting from the spacecraft and puts it into a model so you can follow along on some of the milestones that we are following here. The RL-10 nozzle that you see at the left end of your screen, though it is currently not firing, that nozzle is pointed towards the sun, and the solar arrays are currently deploying. From this visualization, they looked fully stowed in a position.
Integrity, we are happy to report that Jeremy has the O2 sensors on. Copy O2 sensors.
Again, Commander Reed Wiseman and pilot Victor Glover overseeing the deployment of the solar arrays, and we'll follow the attitude maneuver changes ahead of the first burn of the ICPS engine, the perigee raise maneuver.
Integrity Houston, we see 4 saws deployed and latched, ready for ATO preferred.
Yeah, we're almost there in the procedure stand, and we see the same thing.
And Integrity Houston, we are seeing a 7-second miscompare between the MET on Orion and ICPS. We'd like you to read us the MET from your center status bar and for the ICPS on StackSum. And Stan, we see a absolutely precise alignment. MET 25, 14, 15, 16, precisely aligned with ICPS MET. Copy, thank you for that. We'll investigate a ground issue.
And Houston Integrity, ATO preferred set.
Copy, ATO preferred.
Eles estão investigando ali problema técnico. Estão dando início na investigação de problema técnico reportado ali. Vamos acompanhar.
This is Mission Control Houston, 25 minutes, 45 seconds into the flight of Artemis II. We have confirmation that all 4 solar array wings are deployed and latched. This is the configuration needed to switch to ATO preferred, which you did hear confirmed from pilot Victor Glover. That mode has been switched. There's also a discussion with Capcom Stan Love and Commander Reed Wiseman about the alignment of the MET clocks on the Orion spacecraft and the ICPS. Commander Reed Wiseman confirmed the clocks are in sync, no issues, they're going to investigate it on the ground. We're proceeding with today's mission. 26 minutes of mission elapsed time and counting.
Ele confirmou que não tem nenhum problema até o momento. Então, procedendo aí para a continuação da missão.
This is Mission Control Houston. We're approaching 28 minutes of mission elapsed time into the Artemis II mission. At this point, we've had a successful liftoff from the pad at 5:35 p.m. and 12 seconds p.m. Central Time, 6:35 and 12 seconds p.m. Eastern Time. We've had a good main engine cutoff, core stage separation, and a good trajectory to begin today's mission. Right now the spacecraft has maneuvered tail to sun. We're standing by for another maneuver to maneuver into the burn attitude. This is where the RL-10 engine of the ICPS is pointed in the correct orientation for the perigee raise maneuver. We did hear confirmation that the perigee raise maneuver time of ignition has been confirmed per the pad, which means it was the predicted time prior to liftoff.
Integrity for GNC, we're taking channel 1 to unfiltered and to BFS.
Okay, Stan, we're watching. Go ahead.
Ali está mostrando a velocidade da nave, né, nesses ícones, né?
Capcom Stan Love reading up to the crew of Integrity. They will switch the navigation source from channel 1, standing by for confirmation that that switch has occurred. Pilot Victor Glover will receive confirmation when, and as at least watching to confirm that that switch has occurred. Again, the perigee raise maneuver that we're heading towards, not too long from now, we're actually inside 20 minutes at this time from the time of ignition of the perigee raise maneuver. We did have a successful deployment and launched of all 4 solar array wings. This is the configuration needed to commit to the perigee raise maneuver. Capcom Stan Love, of course, flight controllers here and rating up to Houston will continue. Raise the perigee to 100. That will put them in a high Earth orbit for the remainder of the day and set them up for the right position to execute the translunar injection that we're heading towards and head to the moon tomorrow. Not too long from now, we're actually inside. The burn duration of the perigee raise maneuver is the 26th session of the perigee raise maneuver. Relatively short burn, but it does raise the perigee and do the job. We did have a successful deployment and last of all 4 solar arrays.
E aí quando estiver na posição correta vai ter um propulsor que vai ejetar a nave em linha reta, né, contra a Lua, né, para fazer a órbita na Lua, a volta na Lua e depois voltar para a Terra.
100 above the west coast of Africa, at an altitude of about 923 statute miles, which that will put them in a high Earth and counting for the remainder of the day and set them up. The perigee raise maneuver is not executed at the perigee. It is rather executed on the, actually closer to the apogee. But what it does is it raises the perigee on the other end of the orbit to 100 nautical miles. The 26-second duration burn does not conflict with the time that they reported of the tracking and data relay satellite handover from TGERS east to west. Again, geosynchronous satellites that are used not only by Integrity today, but the International Space Station as well.
Ela está fazendo a volta na órbita da Terra, então por isso que não tem imagens da câmera, né?
That time of handover is 51 minutes, 26 seconds. Plenty of margin before the perigee raise maneuver cutoff happens, and the trajectory is analyzed to see whether it was a good burn. A good burn means that the burn was performed as expected and sets the trajectory on course for that 100 nautical mile perigee target mark.
Nossa câmera aérea aqui tá mostrando muitas nuvens, hein?
Again, for those sticking with us on NASA Plus and following along on our coverage, we will continue to follow and to cover the mission until.
Pra gente poder observar a lua cheia na sequência.
Well, actually, we'll continue to cover the mission 24/7. But we'll wrap up our coverage here shortly. And now that solar array wing deployment has occurred on NASA Plus and Amazon Prime. Again, we will continue coverage 24/7 at the NASA YouTube channel. For those that want to see all of the upcoming milestones, there are select times where we will be coming back to NASA Plus and other streaming platforms. You can go to nasa.gov to find the latest on when to find those activities. Given that this is an operational mission, we do want to make sure that we are maintaining transparency in the mission and providing you all the information on what's happening in space as Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen head on their mission around the moon. Inside integrity at this time. Again, the solar array wings have deployed. The integrity is maneuvering to its burn attitude ahead of the execution of the perigee raise maneuver. Overseeing these steps is primarily done by Commander Reed Wiseman and pilot Victor Glover. Mission specialist Christina Cook and Jeremy Hansen focusing on some of the system activation inside of Orion, namely the environmental and control and life support systems. The activation and checkout of some of these critical systems are very important to continuing on the mission, making sure that those systems are
Temos agora,
in a good
depois desse
condition
lançamento,
and in a reliable condition to provide the necessary environment.
Alberto mandou
Opa,
R$400
aí.
Should be read out to the crew very shortly.
Integrity Houston, updated PRM numbers when you're ready to copy.
A meta?
All right, Houston, we are ready to copy.
TIG is 2 seconds earlier at 4 minutes, 4.8 seconds. TIGO unchanged at 2.6 seconds.
49, 48, TIGO 26.
This is Mission Control Houston. With that update, we are approaching a little more than 13 minutes from the time of ignition of the perigee raise maneuver. That time updated to be 2 seconds earlier was 49 minutes 50 seconds of mission elapsed time. Will now move to 49 minutes 48 seconds. The duration of the burn, that's what was referred to as the TGO, will still remain at 26 seconds. Relatively short duration burn, again, just raises the perigee of the orbit today. Making sure they hit the mark on that time of ignition is the primary concern of Commander Reed Wiseman and pilot Victor Glover. Mission specialist Christina Cook and Jeremy Hansen inside activating those environmental control and life support systems. At this time, all 4 crew members are wearing the launch and entry suits.
Integrity for Optimus on the PCD, we have time update instructions when you're ready.
And Houston, Integrity, we copy hands are pretty busy at this time. I think we will call you back when we're ready for that.
All right, that one is not urgent. 2 minutes to maneuver to PRM attitude.
We are watching and concurred. 90 seconds-ish, maybe.
Pilot Victor Glover confirming that that maneuver less than 2 minutes. Again, that the point of that maneuver is to point the main engine of the ICPS, the RL-10 engine, in the proper orientation to execute that 26-second burn. It needs to point in the correct position to achieve the goal of raising the perigee to 100 nautical miles. You heard some of the environmental control system activations over Orion to Earth. Jeremy Hansen activated the O2 sensors. They'll be measuring the cabin of Orion. During all of the activations, here on the ground in Mission Control Houston, Flight Director Judd Freeling is doing a poll with all flight controllers in the room to see if we are in a go position to go ahead and execute the perigee raise maneuver. Once concluded, Stan Love will report it back up to the crew, and we'll stand by for that.
Integrity Houston, MCC polls go for PRM pending attitude and saws.
Hey, we copy. MCC is go. Maneuver starting.
Minutes of mission elapsed time. The maneuver to the burn attitude has begun. The maneuver also is paired with reorientation of the solar array wings that have been deployed. They will have various positions throughout the duration of the flight. Of course, solar array is meant to maximize the draw of power from the sun. So when deployed, we're in a biased solar array wing configuration that was called solar normal. This allows for the greatest surface area of the solar array wings to be drawing power and powering up those batteries of integrity, of which a cross tie was enabled between the four batteries, the four battery buses that are inside of Orion. However, for the perigee raise
automatizada, mas pode acontecer de forma manual.
Está começando, tem uma movimentação ali para baixo.
2 minutos.
O que é essa imagem que a gente está vendo?
Então, é realmente um foguete impressionante.
Essas imagens devem vir chegando a
a conta-gotas aí pra gente, conforme eles vão conseguindo receber, né?
Inclusive, uma coisa que pode parecer aterrorizante, né? Mas é aterrorizante mesmo, é que durante o momento em que eles estiverem contornando a Lua, é zero sinal, nenhuma comunicação com a Terra. Tá? Eles não têm a gente não tem ainda, né, um hub, né, um satélite em torno da Lua que faça essa retransmissão do sinal. Tá? Então, naquele momento que vai ser o mais aguardado da missão, em que eles vão estar contornando o lado oculto da Lua, né, a Lua vai bloquear o sinal de rádio e a gente não vai ter nenhuma comunicação com a espaçonave durante um tempo.
É aquela história famosa, né, Zurita, que o Michael Collins na Apollo 11, que ficou no modo de serviço e contornou a Lua, virou o ser humano mais sozinho da história, né, porque ele estava sem comunicação, estava sozinho na cápsula e teve que dar toda a volta no lado oculto da Lua, né? O tempo passou, mas a falta de comunicação com a Terra ainda continua. Pelo menos dessa vez, né, ninguém vai estar sozinho, né? Eles vão ter a sua companhia ali uns dos outros.
Imagina o terror desses minutos sem comunicação para a tripulação da Apollo 13, né, com problema, e o pessoal
também
aqui, né, na Terra sem poder se comunicar com eles. Nossa.
Não, são momentos, você falou que parece assustador, mas de fato é realmente, né? Não é um momento tranquilo você ficar sem comunicação na maior distância que alguém já teve da Terra.
Imagine aí vocês a 410 mil quilômetros de distância de casa e sem poder mandar um zap para a família.
Hoje em dia ainda, né, Zurita, a gente se comunica o tempo inteiro com as pessoas, né? Então, realmente, aqui, ó, Solange Capelari 4034 comentou: a NASA deve filtrar as imagens. Eles fazem uma seleção, né? Deve chegar muito material para eles precisam fazer uma seleção das imagens, até tratamento de vídeo e tudo mais que eles divulgam, né?
O caso da Artemis, eu me lembro que a gente tinha pesquisado, né, da Artemis 1, eram alguns terabytes de imagens que eles tinham disponíveis lá. Agora, grande parte disso eles só recuperaram quando a nave voltou, né, porque transmitir isso, né, enquanto eles estão preocupados em comunicação, enquanto eles estão preocupados com a questão de telemetria da nave, né, ainda mais para uma missão que vai tão longe, né, em que a comunicação é muito mais complicada, né, é algo que não é muito legal, né? Algo que pode arriscar aí ter algum problema e não ter informação em tempo real para poder resolver, né? Então eles evitam realmente de transmitir imagens, né, durante a missão. Claro que não vão deixar de mandar alguma coisa, né, para mostrar o sucesso, para mostrar, né, o que está acontecendo, mas com certeza não vai ser o show de imagens que a gente está acostumado a ver, né, com as missões da SpaceX.
Sem dúvida, né, Zurita? Um dos focos que a SpaceX tem nas imagens, né? Então eles realmente fazem um trabalho ali de imagens fenomenal, mas eu vi o pessoal falando, né, que as câmeras